Hello, hello, hello. I'm a PaintedDog, and welcome back to our Timberborn experimental build of update 7 on episode 10. I hope you're having a lovely day. My day is actually quite good, thanks. So let's get out of this view. Let's quickly recap what we did. We added in a couple of gravity batteries here. We still have a couple more that needs to get in. We added this zipline station here, so these guys can get to our metal production a bit faster, but now they just have to go to here and then they'll have to walk around here, so that might need to be reworked. Maybe change out this one, move these up. We'll see what we can do. These can actually be taken out completely, then maybe rearranged, but we'll work on that. This is still a recap. We placed in 2 large water pumps, we added in this wood workshop here, and we started planning for this area for a couple of gravity batteries, and we are adding in a couple more windmills here as well. So we are busy building this up so they can get this one in at least. If they get this one in, then they can start building from this side. So after the drought, they don't have to get access to here, and I'll just take access away from here. Always build this up a bit more to get 1 or 2 more water wheels in. We might have to do a bit of bulldozing on this side, or just take this out completely, but I digress. It's not needed at this stage. So we have some treated planks who are basically maxed out. So in preparation, let's take that out completely. Get this taken care of. And let's place these in. We don't necessarily have to build them yet because these 2 are already producing a bit more than the previous 6 normal water pumps did, but it's nice to have it there ready to go. Later on we can always blast out a bit more, and this side as well, and add in a couple more. I'm just gonna delete that. Okay, so we are starting with the large warehouses here. That's great. We added in the bread, and we also have placed in more housing. Basically copied this to this side, so then we'll have that, so we can unpause and pause as we need more beavers. As you see, we have a surplus of 8 beavers at this stage, but that will change. We all know how this goes. So we also went ahead on this side. We blasted this down, and we added in this. So this will be for potato production, because if you remember now, the refinery, 2 potatoes, 2 water will produce 30 biofuel. So that's good. I like that. And we need to rework this so we could get power on this side. We can always take it from here, extend it over, but it will be nice to have power produced locally. So yeah, that's what we are doing. So we want to get bots up and running, as I said, sooner rather than later, so we can, as soon as we start this using this mine, we'll have, I still need to unlock it, but as soon as we start the mine, we will have bots in there, because otherwise we're going to have loads of incapacitated beavers. So this scrap metal is basically almost done now, but we have this to this side as well, so we'll have a surplus of scrap metal for this time being. We don't have to chase the mine as of yet. We also placed in this underground pile to replace the other one, and we've started replacing these with normal large windmills. The reason for that is so we can supply this and take this out and get 1 more smelter in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and let's take that guy out as well. Let's get that replaced with a large. Let's quickly just see if this will still fit. You see it doesn't fit, but take that out, it will go in there, so then I'll put it in there and they'll be able to get there, so I'm not too bothered with that. So let's go ahead and move this up. We can always add in 1 more in that gap right there. Power this, because this will share power now. If we add 1 more, that will work, but we can think about that later on. Let's just make sure. We can't fit there, so yeah, we can't add 1 there. Can't even add a small one there, so don't even bother with what I said. Okay, so as I said, we want to have this area maybe for bot production. I was contemplating if we were to place in a badwater rig here to switch it over, take all the bad water stuff from over here, for instance, the extract and the explosive factories, move it over to this side. But we also have this area on this side that we can use. So that's also something that we might consider doing. Otherwise, we can leave this as an area for growing because we have water source and water source right there. So that might also be a plan, because at this stage it's only flowing through here to run these. And granted, we need this, but we can always add in a couple of gravity batteries, for instance, over here, to supply this when the water wheels are out of action, or if the water wheels are out of action and the large windmills, then we can always do that. But that's something in the longer term. For now, we need to get everything sorted. As you can see, we have this, and we have these windmills right here. That will help us to supply this small area. I'm going to keep it here, and we might change it out, but I like having the wood production is here. Here's the plank production, paper production, as well as some gears. We have it close by. We have a grist mill here that will supply the bakery. You can always, a bakery there. You can always move this around and get this over here, but that's something we can think about later on. I think for now, if we can, it would be great if we could move all of this over. But as you can see, all of this is basically maxed out. So we'll have to just demolish and pick everything from the ground and then use it from there. So, wheat. Let's take out all that wheat. Storage. And this will be for wheat. If I can find it. There you go. So this I'm going to move up by 1. We don't need access down there. So I'm just going to take out, I'm not going to demolish that ladder. I'm just going to take out the pathway there and move the pathway up to here. So wheat flour and bread. This is already 6 times larger than one of these. So I'll replace those two with one that's 6 times. So basically 3 times larger than the 2 that was in there. So yeah, that's fine. Add in one more. This will be for, let's say, wheat flour. If I can remember, that's fine. I'm gonna get those prioritized, and then we can take this guy out. Yeah. Take this guy out. And then bread will be here. But now that I think about it, we need to get this going. Not even necessary, because we can take this out. Let's go that. We've added in, if we go down here, added in a power shaft intersection, so we can get power down here. So I'm going to place one in here, storage for, let's go, bread, supply, this side, we need logs, wheat flour. You know what, I'm going to go bread as well, so you can have a bit more storage. Then, we can always add in more here, but I think it would be good to have a grist mill over here. We have a bakery. We have everything sorted out for that, so it would be good to have a grist mill in here. And the grist mill, if you can remember, is 2 by 3. We add that in there, we have space for there's a bakery right there, and then we'll have grist mill producing here. I'm gonna switch this over to, let's go, wheat flour. And this one will be for bread. We have bread. Wheat will be there. We can always change it out. Let's think about this. Let me demolish that. I know it's a bit waffling, but let's put wheat in here. Great. Get that sorted. Then we can put the grist mill in here. By doing that. Put the grist mill in there. And then we can put the bread over here. Yeah, that will work. Or wheat flour in here, sorry. So then it will be, take the wheat out of here into the grist mill to there, and then there to the baker. Always move this over to this side as well, because the Dapper Shack is right there. Move it over to this side, or change these logs out for a large warehouse. That might also work. We have access through here. We can do that. And then let's just move this over. Not really necessary to have it like that, but move that over. Then we can take that out. Move that over. Get this pathway going through there. There's actually no need for that to connect up, but let's rather leave it like that for now. Then we can add in, as soon as we get terrain, we can add in terrain in here, but for now, let's just go for underground pile, and you can be for logs, so we can have a bit more. Okay, then they can get, let me just speed this up. I don't know why I'm going so slow. Are you done? Yes, you are. So I'm going to demolish this and to take out the pathways we have there. That's actually quite a lot. Do we have space for those plants? Yeah, we have. So let's get that prioritized so we can get that collected. I'm going to leave those platforms in there. Let's get that prioritized. They can build whatever they can, and that's fine. Then move that. Get that in. This is a bit more of a priority, but we have a couple of builders, so that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. And we really need to check up on getting a more of this in, because we flying grilled potatoes now, but we are just keeping our sunflowers the same, bread. We need grilled chestnuts, grilled PaintedDog, cattle crackers, and maple pastries. Then we don't have to worry too much about having that. So yeah, this will work for us. I also need to get this moved up, so I'm just going to take these out. I think we need to move that as well. No need to move that. If we were to change that around like that, then we would need that. This distance is already, if we move it over to this side, that's already a bit better, so I'm not too fussed about that. Now that I think about it, let's just move this up. Get this in, facing one another. And I'm just going to demolish that. Yeah, you can scream at me all you want. But I did it. Now we need to see, how far are you? You are fine. You will be fine. Yeah. So we can easily move that. And this guy. If we were to place in, let's say, one of these guys there. Okay, we have that. That's a bit too far, so we need a pylon somewhere in here as well. You will be running through there, so let's see if we place one in there. Yeah, that will work. So get those in, then we connect those up and take these out. Great. Now we have a lot of building to do. There. For now, bye-bye. I'm taking that pathway out so they're not tempted to collect this while they are running there. As soon as we get this built, then they can always... Oh yeah, that still needs to be built. Yeah. Then they can collect it from up top here. And our drought is just ended. This is now connected through here. Water wheels will kick in, so yeah, that's great. That got built, that's great. We just need the wheat one built. At this stage, I think our boulders are the main limiting factor, because we have logs, we have planks. But we don't have the beavers to do that. But we have 2-3 beds. I don't want to increase it too much. But you know what? Let's add in one extra bed. Our food is holding up. That's maxed out. Bread is definitely not maxed out, so we might need to check that. Grilled potatoes as well. It might be time to start implementing a vertical farm. And as this is laid out, this is not the ideal place to do that. We might want to move to another area to try and do that. As I said, this might have been the place for our power generation, but that's not really needed at this stage. I say that while we don't have any power generation on this, but the gravity batteries will sort that out. So this might be an area to include vertical farm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So for now, that will be the center point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. So let's move this up 1. And see if that's working a bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's a bit better. So that will be the central point. So this will have to be a 5 by 5. So then we'll have space around it. And on this side it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's say up to about there. So that will be the farming area then. Then this is still open for industry. If we were to connect this up to power generation on this side, or actually on this side, then that would be linked, but it's a bit more difficult to do that now. Not impossible, but it will be a bit more difficult. Let's see if we take out this pathway. Okay, Okay, yeah, that will be fine. The beavers can still walk around. This building will moan that it doesn't have path access, but that's okay. Wanted to take it to here so we can have interchange or intersection in there again. That would help us. That's highest priority. That's great. And we'll need to pick this up as well. Same with that. I actually have a lot of things for them to build. We'll have 12 beavers, and so basically 11 vacancy of unemployed beavers, but that's fine. That's fine. No worries there. Okay, so all the overhangs are built. So that's great. So yeah, so far this will be the site for our new... I don't know, what do I want to call it? Our new farming area. So, do I go down as far as I can? I believe so. Let's do a quick calculation. I want to go to about water level over here. Let's go one up. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to go down 10. 3, 3, 1. Want to go down there first, without taking out that, and I'm going to leave that one for now as well. And we need to get this up and running sooner rather than later, since we will be needing a little bit of terrain. One block there, and we might want to increase this a bit more, but yeah, let's go down like that first. And then I'm going to take down this entire area. Probably won't be needed, but then we'll need to unlock tunnels, and then it's extract planks as well, because we're placing in platforms, so it might just be easier just to blow out everything and then place dirt in again. And what's our dynamite situation? We want to increase that, so storage. Question is, where are we going to put this? Can't place it there because of that windmill. Do we go ahead and place it over here? We can always change it out later. Okay, now that's done. So let's detonate that and lay in the power generation for this. I'm going to go TPs like that. And now that I blasted that out, I need to put something in there. So like that. Intersection there. And just pull that up. Okay, and then prioritize that. Prioritize that. And then get pathways in there again. Oh yeah, I wanted that because I'm setting it back a little bit. I didn't waste anything there. So putting that in, and this will be for wheat flour. Placing a small storage here for wheat, and do that. Yeah, that will work. Now we have power to here. And yeah, that's fine. Then we can take this bread out, empty this. We need to put one in for wheat flour right there. Get that prioritized as well. Now, to preemptively strike here, let's put this in, and this will be for potatoes. And they will use some of this for our beavers to eat as well, but hopefully we can get this sorted out so they don't really need this. I'm just going to plant everything, and then they can always move it out and take out what we don't need. Over here, I'll need to place in these barriers as well. Let's just do that. Really a schlep now that we have to have him connected like this. But previously you could just do that and it will work. But now with a new update, you can't really do that. So I'm going to leave it like that. You know what? Then I'm just going to do you. So if there's an issue, we can always do it. But I don't think there will be of bad water contamination. Okay, so now you can work. And hopefully you'll be able to do that. This is still fine. Still producing power there. Power production here is still great. Let's see if we unpause all of this. How they will fare with that. That got picked up from over here. That's great. 5 vacancies. Only 1 incapacitated. Yeah, it's because we have die off like that. Die of old age. Okay, now this is working. This has been cleared out. So I'm going to take this building out and get this for wheat flour and get that prioritized. Okay, so now we have a basic setup here. That's great. So we can provide wheat from there. Going to the gristmill, from gristmill to here. And then from wheat flour storage to bakery. At this stage we don't really need to have additional bakeries, but that might need to be addressed later on. Get that prioritized, if we can get that in. I know they are mostly working on this now, because they need to get all of this in. Planks are fine, gears are fine, metal blocks are running a bit low, but hopefully we'll be able to address that with our new smelter that's going in here. Let's prioritize that. I really want to get that in. Do I just go ahead and at least plant up to there? Yeah, why not? Gravity battery would help you, but do I really go ahead and do that? It won't be too difficult. Hold it up through here. Yeah, we can always do that later. We have a lot of building to do now. This space, I wonder if that will be enough for our... Let me just unlock the mine first. We'll need the refinery as well. So, okay, let's get that unlocked. The bot factories and the bot assembly is actually quite cheap to unlock. So this guy, let's have a quick peek. For the mine, they need treated planks. That's actually not great. But hey, once we get to a certain point, they only use treated planks for this. And one treated plank is produced in 3 hours. So we'll actually need, let's say, 3 of those, so we have a bit of excess, because we're using one treated plank in 1.8 hours. So 2 we'll be able to supply that, but I want a bit of extra, so we'll need 3 of these to supply the mine. One mine. And for each one of these, we'll need 2 at least. Oh, one of these lumber mills can supply 2 of these. So I think it would be good to supply a little bit of... You can't do that because these are in the way. But if we want to get 3 of these in, we'll need to have at least, or let's say 2 more lumber mills. So we have a bit of excess, so we always have planks. That's the thing. And with increasing the storage over here of our fine resin, that will go extra, to go a bit more towards that. Okay, so now they are still busy on this side. Okay, they just finished that. So that's why they are starting now with this, because this was lined up before this. So hopefully we'll get that finished, then we'll do this. Oh no, then we'll do this. That's fine. There's no real need to bother too much with that. Our power is picking up now because we are producing a bit more than we need. Now they are getting that built. Okay, great. What do we prioritize next? I think let's go for this. Since I said, so we can get this cleaned up a little bit. Although no, let's prioritize this, so we can start emptying this, and we can start building up a large warehouse for pine resin, because we will need the pine resin if we want to produce the logs, or treat the planks, sorry, not logs. So that will be a good thing to have. Okay, now that's emptied out. We can demolish that and then get a large warehouse. Switch this around. This guy will actually sit around a bit more, so let's just do that. Pine resin. Get that in so this guy can continue, because these trees are ready to be harvested and now they can't. This only takes planks and logs, and we still have a lot of planks, so yeah, that can get built rather fast. And then that large warehouse for this needs to be built up. Wheat flour and logs. That's basically what's there. So they are working on these basically now. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Wheat, bread, bread. Bread are produced here, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, then pine resin. Then we can always get rid of this. Maybe dynamite that, move this over to this side. Yeah, that will work. Then we can have another bakery in here. Empty that out. Dynamite that. Move this over to there, get another bakery in behind there. Okay, but that's not priority now. Let's get that prioritized. And then slightly higher priority for these guys. As soon as they are in, then we can take those out and get these connected up. We'll do that at night time. I think that would be best for us. We also have enough space here for this. So the grist mill. This produces 1 in half an hour. And the bakery takes... So 1 grist mill will be able to supply 2 bakeries. So yeah, that will work quite well. I just fudged this. Ah, not really. Let's take this out for now. Let's go. Doubles. Get this prioritized. We won't be able to get to that one yet, but we'll be able to place in platforms around it. Want to get these as higher priority. And this will be set to that. And I don't see us running out of power at our observatory soon, so let's do that. Always change that out later. So now we'll get this sorted out, and then we'll be able to connect all of this up. And I should take all of this out. I don't want to drop all the water on the ground. Let's just set these to be emptied. And then we can destroy them. And then maybe, just maybe, extend this out a bit more. Okay, now this got connected, so I'm just waiting for nighttime so we can get everything sorted. And they are busy getting that. And this one will also won't be able to be placed in, but that's fine. I'm going to wait until basically the end of the evening. But they don't use the zip lines anymore. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take this out. Go ahead, take that out. This will need to be connected to this. This will need to be connected to this. Now this guy will need to be connected to that. And this guy needs to be connected to nowhere. Here we are, that's just for that line. We can always move it over here. Okay, these things, I need to rework this actually. But yeah, I think for now that's fine. You know what? No, I'm just going to leave these stations because we might need to use them later on. For now, that's fine. Get all of this picked up. And you know what? Get that built as well. And I'm going to detonate that. Now let's go for this. Get that major priority on that. Get that in. This will be for a high priority for that. Get the tapper shack in there again. Come on, get that built so we can demolish that. Don't want to struggle to see that, so I'm waiting for that to get in so before I demolish this and get that built. I'm not going to take this out until this is built. Seriously. Okay, so now they are working on that, so I'm going to take this guy out. Work through all your water, and then I'm going to demolish you. Thank you. And let's deepen this as well, just because we can. Oh, I didn't do that for that side, but that's fine. Get this prioritized. Building by haulers. Now we can always add in another bakery as soon as this is out. Get it built so it's there. We still have the gristmill right here. I'm gonna leave this. We can later rework this, but for now, that's fine. As I said, we can always, there's a power shaft intersection there. We can take this out and get another gristmill on this side. That will also work. Get another one in here for wheat flour. And that's fine. Get that in there like that. Get that running to there. And then we'll have power to there. Okay, get this bakery. And this will be for bread. And then I can just pause this when needed. You see, we don't have a major amount of excess beavers because we are creating more jobs along the way. So that can get built whenever, that's fine. This is sorted out. I think this is a bigger priority for us. And the same with this. I don't want our new potato stock to die off because of a bad tide. Take a look at our reservoir barely moves. Not even a block. It's basically full up on water, and this is still a lot of water in, so it's not really needed to get this sorted out, but if we can, great. Okay, so we still need to just build this. At a die of old age again. That pause, I didn't want to pause the screen of a game, I wanted to pause this building. Then we can move power from here up to there. And get another gristmill, for instance in here. But that's later on. The drought just ended. Need to unlock this, but our metal production is not where it's supposed to be. And that's because we have a lot of times busy standing still. Get that collected as a priority, please. Same with all of us. Just get it gone. And then I'm going to take these, get that prioritized as well. So I can get that in. Okay, now this is sorted. That's built. Planks aren't looking great, but you know what? Get that built as well. And this got built up really fast. That's fine. So I think for this side, if we were to extend this out and get a couple of gravity batteries in here, that will be fine. We need 400 to run both of these. And yeah, 400. Yeah, so that's fine. And then I want to get a couple of overhangs of stuff in here so we can start getting this for a badwater rig. I think that will be good. Now that I think about it, for this situation here, let's just pause this for now. Because the more I think about it, the more I think this might be a good area for food production. Main reason is there's water sources here. We can take it up to a certain height and drop it in there. And then we can always get the excess still flow through here. And we can build up a small reservoir and smallish, and get that dropped in the reservoir and the excess flowing through here. That would still work, because let's go into developer mode quickly. This is a 0.5 and a 0.5 strength. So it's not the best water sources, but at least there's something. This side, this is 1, 1, 1. So that's a bit better. So that's 3. This side there's 1. So this is not the best, but we can work around it for now. If we see that it doesn't keep up, then it's another thing. But over here we didn't have any water being pumped into here. So then we still had to have a fluid dump. If we were this side, we might still need it, but it won't be as high amount that we need to do. But then again, I wanted to have this as a badwater rig, and then have the centrifuge as well as dynamite factories, explosive factories over on this side. But we can always do it over here. If it's not really a big area that we need for this, we can have, let's say, 3 over here and then 2 centrifuges. That will be fine. Need water tanks and all that, but we can work around that. I'm going to place in a lumberjack right there. Get this marked for cutting. Won't actually get basically anything from this, but that's fine. And this got filled up, so that's nice. This is producing power, everything is built up, and you see that a lot of deaths through old age. That's not great, but that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and take out those, all those, get that prioritized for pickup. Then we can extend potatoes. Let's say to about there. And I actually don't want that. How far do you reach? Do we need as many berries? We actually don't. Let's see how far do you reach. I'm going to go ahead and take out these. Yeah. And I'm going to change this out for potatoes. What do we need? You know, we definitely need more potatoes. Carrots as well, but I think we just need more farmhouses in here. So with that in mind, if we were to place another one in, let's say, yeah, get that connected up. lose quite a bit there. But no what? Let's take that out. There's a good place over here that we can do that. Change that out to there. Then get this. Get this connected up. Yeah. Won't be great for our amount of beavers that we need, but at least we will have some space for it. That was prioritized. Let me just get that. And I forgot that they might spread. Okay, so now that's sorted. We'll have a bit more potato planting in here. If I were to do this. Are they deleted? Yeah. Oh no. Not deleted, they are just moved up. That's good. I don't want to lose. And they have space to drop it in there. So let's just leave it at this for now and see where they place those logs. Let's take out that. Get this planted quickly. Now they are picking this up. Great. Okay, I still need to replace these campfires. Let's just drop it like that. Well-being, campfires. That's fine. Pop one in there. And pop one in there. Now the dance hall. Do we have a chance to do that? Might have to do that, but then this isn't lining up, but yeah. Let's say headache for another time. So this was sorted out. We have that going, which is great. This is great. We have explosives. We have that area. You see, we can always extend this line over here to do that. Get that sorted out. We need to get in here, and now the problem is we don't have an area to get down here, so we need to go up to this. And like that. Just so we are able to get in here. Take these out. And the same with this one. Because you need to go from the bottom because you can't go through here. Take that one out. The bottom one down here, we only get to those when this is sealed up. Let's have a quick peek. So that's not going to work. But the idea is there. Yeah, that will work. Get that in. Get that in. Now we can always do that. Have the science, so let's get that in. 400 gears, 200 treated planks, 150 metal blocks. The metal blocks will be easy. We are just using this. Great. And then it's 200 treated planks, one of those and a small one, and then 400 gears. Now this is for 200, so I'll need 2 of these. Fine. And then one of these plus one of these for the treated planks, and then one of those for metal blocks, because I like to have things in here when, or close by, when we're building stuff like this. Don't want my builders to run around the entire map to get it. I'd rather have my haulers bring everything to the side. I'm going to move this guy up, then get rid of this guy. Let me just delete this. I'm not going to wait for it. Okay, so I'm going to need one of those plus one of these. This is for the treated planks. So this will be go treated planks, highest priority, go treated planks, highest priority. Great, so we'll have that. Then we are going to need one of these for metal blocks, highest priority. And we won't have enough space for all of the gears. Just 400 gears, so 2 of these. Yeah, that will be fine. It's not the best, but that's fine. I'm just gonna pause you. And let's take this out and get one of these in. Storage. As an autosave kicks in. And this will also be highest priority gears. Okay, so hopefully they'll get that sorted out. Bye-bye. We don't need you at this stage. And this is only temporary until this is sorted out. I want to get this capped sooner rather than later, because all of us need to evaporate there. And they are starting to fold this up. Great. Just going to accept this, the logs. Not going to have my guys prioritize that. Same with gears, not just accept. And blanks the same. Explosives, yeah, that's fine, it's a small one. That got built, great. So the next bad tide we are protected from there. Let's see. Yeah, you can reach there. I'm going to unpause that. It's going to put a huge drain on our supplies. Treated planks, we are almost there. Metal blocks, we are there. Gears, we are almost 3/4 there. Our log situation is not the best, but at least we are growing, still growing some. See, I changed this out for a log storage. But we can still do that. Change these out for the rain blocks. Get that irrigated. Shift this up. Couple of levels. Let's take a peek. How far do we need to go? They have quite a lot to build now, so only 3 higher. So yeah, that's fine. We can work around that. Get a bit of surplus going, and then build this up. Then we can have multi-tiered wood production, and then later on we can move this up. But I think that will be fine. Next layer up will be just trees, because I just moved our bread and wheat production here, and I don't really want to shift that over now. Getting that in there. Do that. I want to put that in. Change this out for a 3-way intersection. Get that prioritized. Those 3 prioritized. So yeah. Then we can have that. This is a nice place to just have a bit of water in there. Yeah, that will be nice. Starting to build that up. This is going to take a major dive, but that's fine, I believe. The sooner we seal this up, the better, so this can start to evaporate. At this stage, the potatoes aren't keeping up, but that's fine. Get that built, and we have 3 more. Space for 3 more beavers. Yes, this would be a good place to call it. So, recap. What did we do? We took out the water pumps here and all of that smaller things. Let me just take this bit out because that's not needed. We can replace that with more potatoes. Same with this, we can take that out now. That's what picked up. Great. We shifted the zip lines to closer to the center. It's a bit faster to switch between these 2 lines. We went ahead and expanded our storage. Basically moved our bread production over to here. So from wheat to gristmill, from gristmill to flour storage, from wheat flour storage to bakeries. Added another bakery for the near future, so that's fine. Added in this line so we can have another gristmill here to supply that, so we can get rid of this one at a later stage. And we started talking about expanding the tree production area because our logs are okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. And we put in a bit more of that. Our water tanks. Placed in 1 more efficient farmhouse. And over here, we didn't really do much. We added in storage for that. And we started planning of maybe including a growing area in here, but now we are thinking about switching it over and moving it to this side because we have these water sources. Not the best, but at least we have water sources close by, so we might be able to automate it. We started laying in a badwater rig, so the sooner that gets built, the better. And then we can always get rid of these guys later on, or just leave them and add in a bit more on this side. But if we were to switch this up and take the explosives and the centrifuge away from here. It's not needed for this. We can always extend this line to be closer to the badwater rig, and then to this growing area over here as well. So that will help us. We added in another smelter. We added in a growing area here for potatoes with the storage and contamination barriers. So hopefully this will help us. We're going to have a bit of contamination through here, but we can always address that, and I think I'm going to do that through this. Get that built. Hopefully we don't get it extending a lot further than this. So you can always the scrap metal is almost completely taken out here. 10 then, 120 there, and then 2 there. Okay, and then these smaller patches here. But we have the replacement for this then. And then later on we'll put the mine in here. We might have to rework this. Oh, not needed. So this is still low enough or high enough that the mine doesn't interfere with that. But we'll need treated plank storage here. But then we can basically dynamite all this out. So let's get tree cutting area in here so we can take out these couple of trees. And then we can dynamite this down. Get a bit more growing in here as well. And then we can get the bot part factories because we already unlocked those. Get the refinery in here. And then at least 3 bot part factories and at least 1 bot assembler. So we can get that sorted out before we start running the mine. Because the mine will have a lot of incapacitated beavers. Okay, so for the badwater rig, we already have the treated planks, and we have the metal blocks in, and we only need about 40 years. Then that will be built. So that's great. Then that's sorted out, and we can pause that. So yeah, this is a good place to end it while I do that. So yeah, this is a good place to end it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheerio.